My net is, so I just started this job, so I'm still like seeing what it is after taxes, but I think my net is around 5,800 a month. And then I also get disability from the VA.
Why do you get disability? You were in the military?
I was in the Navy for 2 years.
What'd you do?
Okay, he went to school and the Navy paid for it and then he got out medically.
I was Naval Reserve and then.
And what's your disability? Other than your
depression
hairline?
and anxiety.
What's the net again? 5,500?
5,800 for the salary. And then the money that I get from the VA is around like 2,070.
Are you not patriotic?
With blue hair, you think I'm patriotic?
You can still be patriotic and be wrong about
Why
economics.
would I be patriotic when we're spending more money on bombs than we are for like social justice or like social programs?
We spend 50% of the federal spending on social programs.
Like what?
Social programs, Medicare, Medicaid, mandatory spending, SNAP benefits, veteran benefits.
You mean SNAP benefits that people just got taken away from them?
You think everyone just got taken off SNAP?
Most people
Everyone.
did.
You think the majority just got taken off SNAP? Our
Yes.
military spending is 10 to 20%.
And
The
that's
bombs you're freaking out about,
egregious.
10 to 20%. It's egregious. We spend 50% on social programs.
I'm a military kid, and I can tell you that shit is not needed.
Girl, you literally just got the information that you were just wrong, and yet you're still doubling down. We don't spend the majority on bombs.
Okay, maybe it's not the majority, but it's well
It's not
too
even
much.
close to the majority. It's not even a quarter.
It's far too much.
Okay, you can advocate for that, but that all of a sudden doesn't mean, you just said we don't spend anything on social. That's where like more than half of our money goes. Like, what are you talking about?
I think it needs to be more
as
into
usual,
social
you're
programs.
uninformed about everything.
I think it needs to be more
and
into
then you're just
social
not
programs.
patriotic. What do you mean? We spend more than like anyone. Well, number-wise, absolutely.
Yeah, well, technically.
By
Like per
technicality.
capita.
Technically, by money, by per capita, by yes. We do a lot. We're a very progressive nation. We have the most progressive income tax in the entire Western world.
Okay.
Oh boy. I love when people have no idea what they do and then they're just not patriotic. It's like, dude, you're literally not a contributor. You should be the most patriotic person. You contribute nothing.
I mean,
You contribute literally nothing. You've only been a taker. And yet you're the one that doesn't like the country?
I would
Then the
leave
one
if
that
I
gives
could.
everything is the one that likes it?
I would
Leave for
leave if I could.
where?
anywhere. I used to
Anywhere?
live in Germany. I'd rather
Grass
live
is
there.
always greener. What would you be doing in Germany?
I could still be an artist there.
Yeah, you think Germans just immediately, they're like, oh, you want to be an artist? Let's give you $80,000
Well,
a
I
year.
know that they're not going to give me $80,000 a year for
What do
being
you
an
think
artist.
would all of a sudden happen?
I think if I was able to do my art full time, I'd be able to make the money I need to make.
Yeah, Germans trying to pursue art and failure. That always goes over well.
All right. Well, yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
What do you mean America's making you in this situation and everything would be better if you went to Europe? How? You would still be an addicted fucker that spent all the money you'd get, which would be less money over there, on CSGO. How's this America's fault? This isn't America's fault.
I said that out of how it's easier to make money and side money over there in Europe versus in America.
What? It's easier to make inside money?
Side money, like cash and stuff like that.
In what way? How?
You can do like neighbor chores and stuff like that. So like
Do you neighbor chores here? What do you mean?
people don't have money to spend on other people first.
Objectively incorrect compared to any European nation besides micro city states. Our disposable income, which is income after everything important, is higher in the United States than anywhere else in Europe, except for like the micro dick states where it's like a city that completely overboosts the numbers because they don't have any rural populations bringing it down. What are you talking about? That is statistically incorrect.
I guess I'm wrong if you have the.
Yes, you are wrong.
But
We don't have a VAT tax. They do. Their VAT tax across their entire middle and lower classes to pay for their entire social welfare state, which you can advocate for if you want, dramatically makes their disposable income less. And that's fine if you want that kind of culture, but they do not have as much to spend on the. Why do you think our consumer culture is so extensive compared to every other country? It is because of our culture for sure, but it's because we also have the means to do it. Even our poorest people here are fat.
that's
Like,
true.
what do you mean? What are you saying? Where did you pull that from? You just pulled
Oh.
that out of your ass, man. You just pulled that out of your ass. How are you saying I could just do better in Europe? Fucking America didn't make you spend $8,493.53 on interest accruing credit card down on CSGO skins. It's not America's fault. Capitalism didn't do that. You did that.
I did that in the mindset of.
So what the doing? How can you say your life would be better somewhere else? Grass is always greener. Europe is great in many ways, don't get me wrong. But you can't just say all of a sudden your life would be, well, your life would be different, but not in the way that you're just advocating
I probably
for.
wouldn't have a PC over there because it'd be too expensive to afford. to be
Yes,
able to
your income would be dramatically lower.
I just think everything in America is too easy to get to, like spending wise.
Then don't. You know, you are the one that gets the swipe.
Yeah, and I'm the one that's
So
doing
you
it.
need the government to baby you and bring the income per capita down so you can't spend?
No, it's just
you need you need policies in place to make sure your income is lower so you can't spend money.
No, it's just
What are you advocating for?
It just makes it too easy to spend here, I guess.
What are you advocating for? A policy to make it harder for you to spend?
Oh no, it's just.
Then what are you saying, dude? What are you saying? Advocate for something. Have some balls. What are you saying?
I'm just saying that getting this credit card and I immediately started spending money. I wish I didn't spend the money on, and I ended up doing it because I thought it was a great investment for the future.
Oh, oh my. And you think that's different in Europe?
I wouldn't be spending as much.
Are you sure? Listen.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Wise. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
These people are crazy, man. These people are crazy. He's absolutely right, man. Some of the least patriotic people in the country take and receive the most from the government. It is insanity. The dude that started this thing off, he was in the military for 2 years. He only was in school. He gets out off of a medical, said he suffered from anxiety, and he gets $2,000 a month. I really think that, and as a veteran, I think we should take care of our veterans that do have issues after they come out of service. But they got to get this under control. The people that are just applying, there's nothing wrong with them. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. We're paying entirely too many people that don't have any real issues. Seriously.
Well, I decided to bring out my notebook today when I was watching this because this was going to get good. So for the audience, are you guys on the panel? Anybody heard of the concept of girl math?
No.
Girl math?
Yes.
Where math don't ever really quite make sense, but it's just something that they want. Right?
It's there, but we don't acknowledge it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
I remember sister code. So girl math is when her money is her money and his money is our money. So for me, liberal math is everybody else's money they feel like is their money, and they can obviously argue and say like there's always a need that they think somebody else can pay for. My view with this is kind of like liberal math ends up resulting in what's happening in New York with Governor Kathy Hochul, where she ran. And Mamdani, where they're running on policies where they're constantly talking about who's going to pay for it, as if the people who can afford to pay for it don't have the ability to afford to leave. And now, of course, she's begging for people to come back. And again, we see this stupid idea of we'll keep raising the cost of living. We'll keep talking about increasing taxes, but we never think about the people who can actually afford the tax base that we're talking about. They can just leave. They'll always will go to a true capitalist. A person who's smart is going to always look at where they can put their money, where their money can go the furthest. This is logical. It's not wrong to want to keep the resources that you work so hard for. So for me, this isn't shocking. It's not surprising. And what I've learned over and over again is like the people who end up getting like that are one and two people. One group is the people who haven't accomplished or built anything. Typically people who are born into something. So you may have the Madani or other people who were born into money, where they're not used to actually knowing how much it actually costs to build something up. And then the other people are the people that we watch in the video, where they've gotten away with things, they've escaped certain things. So now they're at a strange place where it's like, I'm unhappy. I want to be happier. And the only way I can think that will make sense is if other people pay for it. And I'm like, listen, man, this is liberal math.
Make everybody else miserable.
It never adds up. It always leads to, like, this is the crazy part. The cities where the cost is the most expensive in the country, they turn the cities into a place where they end up complaining about not being able to afford it. And then they end up moving to Texas and Florida and other places. And then the cycle continues. I'm at a place where I'm going to propose a policy, and Brother Waj, y'all could tell me, we may have to reevaluate it. We're going to have to start banning liberals from coming to certain places. I live in Jersey now, and we paying the highest property taxes in the state, and it's going up, not down. So I said, all right, something got to change.
You talk about that all the time, Wise. You said, don't come here. Here's I thank you for those videos, first of all. But I want to talk to the people that the brother was talking to rather than the brother himself. These people, I always say that your source is key. Whatever source you rely on for your information is key. This is a great example of my philosophy that whenever these people say something stupid, we need to nail them on the spot and mass publicize it so everybody sees just how stupid these people are. We cannot let them get away with their stupidity. And that's going to be a big way of helping to alleviate a lot of this madness that's going on in our society. I think that it is important for us as believers to make sure that we know our stuff, know what we're talking about. And every time we get in a conversation with them, and if you can, record it. Don't just talk to them in private, because this is too important to keep private. Let's try to find a way to record it. And you can mass produce it here. People like this have to be made to feel stupid for what they are. Proverbs 26, verses 4 and 5. The 5th verse says, answer them according to their folly, lest they be wise in their own conceit. Don't let them walk away from you thinking they got it going on. That's my concern.
Absolutely. How many people out there in America are complaining about the economy and complaining that they don't make enough money, but they're fiscally irresponsible? It's not that they don't make the money. It's the fact that they don't understand how to handle their finances appropriately.
When I tell people to go outside and touch the grass, I really mean to go outside and touch the grass, like for real. Because like they forget this touching, they need to lay and roll in it and
come on.
like, embrace, throw the blades up and let it fall on you, because I'm so serious. These people, first of all, my brother AT in the comments talking about, listen, how he get more benefits than I get, and I'm 100% disabled, and they get more than I do. Exactly. This is the craziness. This man went to Navy school, came out, and he had anxiety. He had anxiety, so he gets $2,000. Again, the math is not mathing. Okay, the math is not mathing. Now the thing is, I support them. Please leave, because we saw what happened when the woman went. The woman, what did she say? They escaped to Canada, and they're a refugee in Canada, and she saw the reality of the same laws that she hated in America, and she called Donald Trump a fascist for some weird reason. Now when she gets there, she has to abide by those same laws that she hated here in America. Or the one who ran off to Ghana or somewhere in Africa and thought, listen, I'm going to be with my people, but then turn around and begging and pleading, can I come back? Because wait, America's better. Duh, we knew that the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So all I do is watch it. Please send them out. Let them go. My favorite one was this last guy who said, please put policies in place so I don't have to spend money. So you have zero willpower. Is that what we're saying? Zero willpower. You're blaming America for your greed, your need to want to spend money. And I just want to remind people, everyone that yells about social programs and fascism and all this other stuff, I just did a whole video last night on AOC, because it's very interesting. They will yell about how the rich tax the rich all the time. The minute they have their hands on money, they go to spending. Okay, they go to spending, and they spend very well. They enjoy all the spending. So it's not about social programs. It's not about social justice. It's not about helping people. They're just jealous. They're coveting other people's money. Thou shalt not covet.
Amen.
They're coveting other people's money. And so when they get their hands on it, they act worse than what the other rich people do. They act way worse than they do. So don't listen to these people with these fake social outrage and fake social programs. Don't listen to them. They're lying.
Out of control. When she said other people's money, I was like, you know what OPM? Yeah, you know them. You know what OPM? Yeah, you know them. When you guys were talking, I was thinking about they approach life from a totally different perspective from the beginning. Like their diagnosis from the jump is off. It's wrong. Leftists and people who think like this, like they start from the outside. They blame something exterior for what's wrong interior. Like you missed the part where you had, your actions, your beliefs, your decisions. You missed that part, that they actually do have an effect on your life. And it's this like entitlement. It's just not wanting to be accountable and responsible for your own decisions. And that's like, I gotta look at your mama and your daddy like that. These are household family. Like, who raised you?
Basics.
Who raised you? Because you didn't get instilled, you didn't get the proper things instilled inside of you to where you were released in life and you were able to navigate. Like something isn't right. And what it says to me is they probably weren't trained up in the Lord in the way that they should go. So when they got older, they didn't depart from it. And that doesn't mean like your children don't mess up or do bad things or anything like that. But it's like the core of them, those core things should be, established and developed within them. And that's what I see when I hear these people, because it's like you don't live in reality. You live somewhere else. But it's not reality. It is not on planet Earth. Because none of the principles and rules that you've made up in your mind, they don't apply in this realm. Okay. They don't even apply in the spiritual realm. They just exist in you and the enemy's mind, because it's not working for you. It's not working for you. And it's, it's like people, it's hard to self-reflect and be like, ooh, yeah, I messed that up. That was on me, but they don't seem to have that muscle. So it's just like they approach the whole idea, the whole concept from, it's an incorrect, assessment from the beginning. So you're going to, if you started out wrong, it's likely you're not going to end up in the right place.
Amen.
Absolutely. I've been saying this for a long time, on the channel, that I would love to see more people do something out of high school, whether it's the Peace Corps or Merchant Marines or join the military. Get outside of this nation and get a real understanding of how great you actually have it here. A lot of these people think that the grass is greener other places. And the people that have left, the lady we talked about that went to Canada, the lady that went to Costa Rica, the lady that went to and took her family out to Ghana and got out there and was like, man, these people, they not like us. Like, yeah, because so many people think that they're going to go over there and these people are just going to welcome you with open arms. It's not going to happen. Matter of fact, they're looking at you crazy because like, wait, you left America to come here?
Yep.
Brother Wise, wait till they realize when they head over there, they got borders too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They got borders too, and they ain't doing handouts for Americans just to hang out undocumented over there either.
No. Well, you're hearing the stories. They're getting scammed. They're getting robbed, or worse.
You're a target. Actually, I can say that because I know my best friend is from Nigeria. One of my best friends is from Nigeria. I know when people go to the islands, you're a target because you're American. You're coming in and you must have plenty of stuff. So you are a target. You have a whole bullseye on your body, but people don't think about that when they do that.
The interesting thing for Black Americans is that Black Americans think that because they believe, I believe incorrectly, that race is a key feature of American culture and American society. They don't understand that there are other countries, in fact, almost every place else in the world, race is not a key feature. It could be religion, it could be caste. In most places, it's class. It is not race. So walking around with a race paradigm and a race worldview is not going to serve you well when you leave America. I don't think it serves you well here. But there is a historical past that you can access, but it definitely is not going to serve you when you leave the country. And as for the video that we watched, this is an example of why the government should be constrained to its 19 enumerated functions, because all of this social safety net and all of this giving of people, we give to the people, to the animals, the whales got their share. I mean, everything
flies
exactly has some representation in our federal budget. And it's not helping us. And I feel like it's really just to do two things. Number one, the welfare state was created and is used basically to bankrupt the country. It's used so that it can get us in a place where we can continue an endless amount of deficit spending to ultimately get us to a place where we bankrupt the country. And then the second is once we're in that position, then the Marxists are able to achieve their goal. Since they cannot raise the standard of living for the rest of the world, the plan is to lower the standard of living for us so that we can meet the standard of living and have equity and parity with the rest of the world. And since we will then be lower in terms of our money and our sovereignty, we will be much easier to take over and much easier for them to rule over us, which is the position they ultimately want us in.
I'm just going to say this. If we can just go by the Constitution, we would be in a better position. That young man that does that video, I love it. He has the same. So I have 2 degrees and both of them are accounting, mathematics. Okay. And when I tell you, I have the hardest time talking to people about taxes and what you're supposed to be doing. And people just argue with me. And they go, well, these people don't pay their fair share of taxes. If you go by the Constitution, we're not supposed to be doing these taxes, which is the reason why we're in this predicament in the first place, along with the central banking system and everything else.
Federal Reserve, that's right.
When I hear these things, I'm just saying, yeah, they're not patriotic. They're not patriotic. They don't even have to like this country in order to understand the Constitution. And most liberals or progressives, they don't. They don't understand the Constitution. They want everything, ran by the government. But my problem is most people that are from this country that don't like this country don't understand how much the country has even enabled them to not like this country. Okay. You have the right to do this, that, and the third, and yet you're ungrateful. You have the right to go to school. You have so many things that other people would die for in other areas. And yet you don't take advantage of them. If we get back to the Constitution and what it was meant to be and what we're supposed to be doing, we wouldn't have all of these arguments and all of these problems.
So I was thinking about the second gentleman that was talking to Caleb there, saying that the UK has more opportunities to do like side hustle work. And I just think that's ridiculous because America is really the creators of gig work. And you look at all these people that aren't taking advantage of their opportunities, but even illegal aliens come here and take advantage of those same opportunities that Americans don't take advantage of. So then they sit back and make it seem like, oh, I can't find ways to make money or do this and that. Half the time it's just because people are lazy, people are weak. They don't want to do whatever it takes to reach that point of success. I mean, look at all of us in here right now. All of us are taking advantage of opportunities that are in America by using YouTube, right? Which can provide more opportunities. But to see people say that there isn't opportunities in America is ridiculous. And then you have the couple there that's receiving money from the military. Can you imagine a person that has the entrepreneur mindset getting an extra $2,000-$3,000 a month every month? They're going to take advantage of that and use it in the right way. But people that don't have the right mindset, that are lazy, this is what happens. And I don't know if it's a liberal mindset, but it is common in America. And then you add that with us not getting top finances in school like we're supposed to unless you go to college. It's just a downward spiral.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Join us Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for ARP in the morning. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, He gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.